The resurgence of COVID-19 cases in China has sparked debate over its zero-tolerance approach to dealing with outbreaks. But as Olivia Xiong reports, this strategy is unlikely to change anytime soon.
It's been a challenging year for 48-year-old Li Hongxia, who works at this ceramic shop at the popular Wudaoying Hutong in Beijing. Amid a recent resurgence of COVID-19 cases, business has fallen by 80% as people have stayed home, affecting her sales commission.
担心就是因为刚开始有疫情的时候，这一趟街关了很多家店。 就是维持不下去了，没办法交不起房租啊，或者是一切费用嘛，他没有收入了，所以就被迫把店给撤掉了。
This impact on the economy and spending has sparked a debate on China's approach to handling outbreaks. Factory output and retail sales slowed in July, partly due to flooding in certain regions, but also because of the fresh outbreak of COVID-19 cases.
Now, the latest outbreak has been described as the worst since Wuhan, with cases emerging in multiple cities, including here in the capital, Beijing. But even though the numbers are a fraction of what we had seen during the peak of the outbreak last year, and when compared to some other countries, Chinese authorities have reverted to its old playbook, imposing lockdowns, mass testing, and travel restrictions, affecting millions of people.
The strict measures have been attributed to a need to contain the more transmissible Delta variant, although some top health experts in China had suggested that the country should consider learning to coexist with the virus. Such narratives, though, were quickly removed from social media and rebutted in what analysts say is a clear signal that Chinese authorities do not plan to go down that route. Chinese President Xi Jinping had also reportedly asked local governments to examine whether they are doing enough to contain the outbreak.
The Chinese government has seen this successful containment of the pandemic as an ideological but also organizational win over much of the Western world. So letting go of this policy right now could be seen as a political loss for the Chinese government.
Currently, over 770 million people in China have been fully vaccinated, accounting for around half of China's 1.4 billion population. Experts say until vaccination numbers go up, China's strategy of mass lockdowns and contact tracing remains the only viable response. Authorities have also sought to allay concerns that its domestic vaccines are effective, as many of those infected had been inoculated. Foreign vaccines are currently not approved in the country, although health experts say there may be growing pressure for this, as Chinese inactivated vaccines seem to be less effective in combating the Delta variant.
I think the preference will be perhaps what we've seen with Fosun, where they produce the BioNTech vaccine domestically.
China finally approved its first mixed vaccine trial last week, after some Asian countries, which have mostly used Chinese vaccines, announced they will use other shots. Olivia Xiong, CNA, Beijing.